I thank Alejandro and the CERME 12 organizers for the opportunity of stirring up the discussion in this work group. Dear Miriam, Aynat, and Ham, I will make 3 comments about your paper. The first comment is about the adequacy of the cognitive framework. As I understand, you sought to determine the characteristics of tasks that provide opportunities for productive mathematical discussions and for meaningful, rich learning. For this, you design workshops to encourage and support student-centered learning and academically productive mathematical discussion in a linear algebra course. However, according to you, cognitive studies consider problematic to students to coalesce these courses that have been often laboriously and slowly invented over hundreds of years. This is possible, however, if a strongly guiding instructor explicates the new rules of this course. Is this the cognitive way to elicit from the students the need for new mathematical objects? Is this way adequate to teaching in workshops? The second comment is about the building up of mathematical objects. Communication theory presupposes that the receiver gets a faithful copy of the transmitted signifier, but admits that the signifier may not make sense to the receiver. What happens if the received signifier is meaningless to the receiver? When the receiver has not objectified the different signs and procedures involved in the discourse, cognition recommends that the student's discourse should start by imitation of more knowledgeable experts. Is this recommendation compatible with the learner-centered instruction in a workshop? Is the chosen theoretical framework at odds with the treated object? The third comment is a provocation to raise discussion. Since as far as 2009 seems to be your main theoretical support, I reopened it from the first pages. On page 29, I read Piaget classical experiment. Which of the rows has more marbles? Piaget investigates whether the child will say that both have the same or the like. However, does he not presuppose that she has understood the question as he expected? Does cognition presuppose that the signifier has the same meaning for the emitter as for the receiver? What if there is always a mismatch, as Lacan says? The consequence of this presupposition is to explain the results by the tautology of the lack or deficiency with respect to the cultural norm, inability to conserve number. Reading the interesting report of the 2 girls who sustained that box A had more marbles than box B without opening them, Boni abruptly grabs box A, which is closer to Aynat, and which was previously chosen by Aynat as the one with more marbles. Then Sfard asks, why were the girls in such a perfect accord about their choices, even though these choices seemed arbitrary? This is not a puzzle. The answer is obvious. The episode is a typical illustration that man's desire is the desire of the other, according to Lacan. Ronnie chose the box that Aynat had already chosen. Is cognition enough to explain the cognitive? Or should we admit that the cognitive is a language phenomenon? Thank you very much.